Welcome to Profit and Prosper, a podcast for entrepreneurs who are ready to make some money while doing what they love. On this podcast, we're going to pull back the curtain and talk about all things business and money. But I promise you, this is not your typical boring numbers talk. I'm your host, Sarah Young, a CPA and CFO with over a decade of experience in finance, business, and leadership. I'm going to share everything I've learned from helping my clients grow more profitable businesses and keep more of what they earn while growing my own successful business along the way. You'll feel empowered and confident that you too can grow your wealth, live a rich life, and have an impact. Stick with me and you might even start to think that finance is fun. Let's dive in. Hello, everyone, and welcome to this week's episode of the Profit and Prosper podcast. The topic of this week's episode is how to bulletproof your business, creating a solid foundation for your business so that it lasts is something that needs to be on your goals list for the year for your business if it's not on there already. So I want you to add some of the things I'm talking about to your goals to help create a solid foundation for your business. This will help you grow your business with confidence and also give you some stability and room to pivot your business if and when things get tight. In last week's episode, I talked about what do you do when cash flow is tight, right? Knowing that that is probably going to happen at some point in your business because it's normal to have times of tight cash flow, planning ahead for that will help you create a solid foundation for your business. So we're going to talk about how do you bulletproof your business financially so that the money doesn't cause a roadblock in your business, so that you don't have to shut your business down or take on a ton of debt because you have no money, right? I don't want this to happen to any of us. So what we need to do is take intentional steps to create that solid foundation. I know that we all have heard the stats about business failure rates. And so I'm not saying this to be a Debbie Downer at all, but 20% of new businesses fail within the first 2 years. 45%, or almost half, fail within 5 years. Only 25% of businesses make it 15 years or more. This is just straight data from the Bureau of Labor and Statistics, where they collect information on businesses opening, shutting down, and all of that. So let me ask the question, why do businesses fail? Again, according to the stats, they fail because they're not in a good market. They have poor marketing, right? They're not able to bring customers in. Their product isn't the right fit. These two reasons I cannot help you with. I'm not a marketing pro. The other reasons that businesses commonly fail are poor planning, not having enough cash flow, not being able to pivot when things get tough, or growing too fast to where your expenses increase faster than your sales increase. I can help you with all of those things with what I'm going to talk about in this episode today. So when you bulletproof your business, you are going to feel less stressed. You're going to feel more at peace with things because you're going to know I've got money in the bank and I've got a plan for what might happen if things get tough. And you're going to also be more comfortable taking risks and investing, right? If you want to grow your business, you have to be comfortable investing in your business, whether that is investing time or money. You have to be comfortable doing that, and you have to have the space to do that. So creating a solid financial foundation for your business will enable you to do all of those things. A lot of times I see businesses in the startup phase or even making multiple six figures who don't make money. The owners are not paying themselves. And they tend to think, I'll just grow my business, I'll make more sales, and then I'll be profitable. Things are going to go according to plan when I get to this point in my sales numbers. And I have seen the aftermath of businesses growing to high 6 figures and into the 7 figures without having solid financial systems in their business, without taking the time to set up a foundation. And I will tell you, there is no I'll be profitable when I grow to 6 or 7 figures. I'm using air quotes if you're not watching the YouTube version of the podcast, right? So don't think to yourself my problems will magically be solved one day. If you're not able to manage the money you have now, right? How are you going to manage it when you have more? So before you focus on growing your business wildly, which I know many of us do want to do, focus on creating a business that will last, a business that is resilient, meaning it can withstand the test of time, that it can withstand pandemics, wars, right? With the things that are happening in the world today, the things that we don't even know yet are going to happen in the future, that it can withstand you personally having to take time off if you need to, right? You want it to be resilient. You also want your business to be agile, meaning you have the data that you need to pivot your business. You know when things aren't working and you can act quickly to resolve them. And having a solid financial foundation will help you create the space and the time. You'll create a runway for yourself. So if things aren't working, you are able to address it. I know thinking back to 2020, I saw a lot of businesses that shut down quickly when their revenue dipped for a couple months because they did not take the time ahead of time to set aside reserves for that situation. Okay, so let's make sure that we do that now for the next thing that we can't even predict is going to happen in the future. The last thing is your business needs to be boring, right? A boring business is a successful business. You figure out what is it that works. What is it where I put some time or money in and I get a huge return out, right? When you find that thing, you just keep doing that over and over and over again. And I know that this is hard for us entrepreneurs because we love to change things up. We love to have different problems to solve and come up with new ideas. And so having a boring business is really tough, but it's also a business that is financially successful. So I know you're on board with bulletproofing your business. Let's talk about financially. How do you do this? Okay. This is what I call the steps I'm going to talk through. This is what I call my wealth ladder that is in my Profit and Prosper program. And these same steps are the steps that will help you create a solid foundation in your business and also build wealth, right? It's the same good financial habits and same financial systems that enable you to create a foundation and also build wealth after you've created the foundation. Do you want to create more cash flow, put more money in your pocket, and demystify your business's finances and taxes once and for all? Since you're listening to my podcast, I'm pretty sure that you do. In order to create wealth and reach your goals, you have to understand your numbers and you have to intentionally manage your money so that you can understand what's actually generating profits in your business and what's not, and make CEO level decisions about what to do next. So you can create a solid foundation that allows you to confidently grow and scale your business. If you're nodding along to everything I'm saying, then you need to join my 12-week Profit and Prosper group program. In this program, I teach my CFO framework for streamlining your financial systems, optimizing cash flow, and growing a bulletproof business. I've got video modules, my exclusive templates and calculators, and best of all, 12 weeks of support directly from me, your personal CPA and virtual CFO. I only run this program a few times each year, and the next cohort is officially open. It's time for you to get off the struggle bus and turn your money into the rocket fuel that propels you toward your goals. And I cannot wait to watch it happen. Go to profitandprosper.co/join now to learn more and sign up. The first thing you have to do is get cash flow positive in your business. Cash flow positive means you bring in more money than you spend every month. So your sales are higher than your expenses every month. And this also includes making sure you are cash flow positive enough to do step 2, which is pay yourself a market salary so that you are cash flow positive in your life, right? We need to make sure that we are generating enough money through sales to pay for all of our expenses. So if you are not finding yourself able to pay yourself regularly, if you're finding that your bank balance is really low every month, the first thing you have to do is figure out, how do I generate more cash flow? So there's really 2 ways to generate cash flow. I talk about the 2 levers you can pull. Like I envision a board, or I'm like in a ship or something, and I've got all these buttons and things to push to drive the ship. To increase your cash flow, you have 2 levers to pull. Lever number 1 is you can increase your income. Lever number 2 is you can cut back on your expenses. And you might say, Sarah, that sounds too simple. It really is that simple, right? We're boiling down all of the strategies that we have into 2 buckets: make more money or spend less money. So I think that the right answer for most businesses is probably to do a combination of both. So in the short term, what is the fastest path to more cash? You might have capacity to make more sales, and so you might need to figure out, how do I bring in a few more sales? You might also increase your prices. If you find that you are consistently booking out, if people are happy with what you're doing, if you're selling out of your products, if people are always telling you yes, you don't get a lot of no's, these are just a few signs that you need to raise your prices, friend. I will do a whole other episode on pricing, but my story is a little over a year ago. I changed around the packages that I offer, and in some cases, 3 to 5x'd my prices, and my life has never been better. So you might need to increase your prices. Increasing your prices is a really, really fast way to quickly see an increase in cash flow, because if you keep your expenses flat, if your costs are the same, but you're getting 10 or 20% more in sales, or even double in sales, that is straight bottom line profit into your pocket, okay? So increase your income. You can sell more, increase the volume. You can increase your prices. You can do things like change around your packages or bundles to get your customers you already have buying more stuff from you. I'll use an example. This is one of the people in my program sells pies that are like frozen. And she will sometimes bundle, buy the entree pie, and you get like a dessert along with it. And the dessert cost for her is super low, but she can charge, a few extra dollars, and that is more average price, like more average sales price per customer coming in. So there's another way, right? You don't have to get more customers, you just have to get them to pay you more. You also can focus on returning customers, right? How can you go back to your existing customer base and get more money out of them, whether you sell products or services, right? Think through this. This could be a really fast way to increase your cash flow. Cutting back on your expenses is also key. If you are cash flow tight, you need to go through and assess all of your expenses and say, what do I not need? Because if you're not generating cash flow, then one of these expenses you have is not giving you a good ROI or return on investment. Something is not working. You need to figure out, what is it that's not working, and cut it out. Because it's literally you continuing to pay for this expense, hoping that it's magically going to work eventually, versus you paying yourself, okay? So look at your expenses and cut them out. Focus on the big ones. I am not the type to say, like, get rid of your $5 Starbucks latte and that's going to solve all your problems. I'm really talking about the big buckets of money, which tend to be, for most businesses, marketing expense, payroll costs or contractors, and sometimes office expense. Like if you have a physical space or physical store location, rent is really high, utilities, and all the things that come along with that. Generally, these are the biggest sources of cash going out the door every month. And so you need to look hard at all of these, even if it's hard, right? If something is not working, you have to acknowledge that it's not working and let it go. Okay. So step 1 of the wealth ladder and the bulletproof business ladder is get cash flow positive in your business so that you can pay for all your expenses and pay yourself for step 2, which is paying yourself a market salary or being cash flow positive in your life. Once you are cash flow positive and you're paying yourself regularly, step 3 is make sure you are setting aside money for taxes. We are currently in March. The tax deadline is coming up quickly. I know everybody's thinking about it. If you look back at 2021 and you generated income, net profit in your business, you will have a tax bill. If you don't have a tax bill, that means you either didn't make money or you did something fraudulent on your tax return. Okay, so if you are generating money in your business, net profit, you will have a tax bill. So step 3, have a separate tax account and set money aside every single month to cover your taxes so that you can make estimated tax payments every quarter. And when you go to do your 2022 tax return next year and you show all of this cash flow in your business, you don't end up with a $5,000 tax bill or a $10,000 tax bill. I actually have a tax client now that I'm doing his return, just came on pretty recently, and he had so much money in his business from 2021, so much cash flow, his tax bill is $40,000, okay? If you are generating cash flow in your business, you've got to set aside money for taxes. So open up a separate tax account and set aside anywhere from 20 to 30% of your profit. That means you look at your financials every month and you say, my sales minus expenses was this amount. I'm going to take 20 to 30% and put it into my tax account. I would go 20% on the lower end of the range if you are making lower income, or if you live in a state that has zero tax or a very low tax rate, like for example, Florida and Texas don't have state income tax, so you can go on the lower end of the tax range. On the flip side, if you live somewhere like California, where the state income tax is really high, you might want to go onto the 30% range. Or if your income from your business is high, you need to go to the higher end of the 20 to 30% range because you will be in a higher tax bracket. Okay, so step 3, set aside money for taxes every month into your tax account and make sure you are covered and you don't have a surprise tax bill that you have to take money out of your business, that you have to take on debt or take out of your savings account to cover, okay? Cover your taxes. I will add to this also, I think when you get to a place where you are generating enough profit in your business to pay yourself a salary, like $50,000 to $60,000 or more, it is going to save you money to hire a tax accountant who can help you think about tax strategies and tax planning for your business. This is not going to be a service that you're going to get from the tax prep place down the road. You are going to actually have to go to a CPA who offers proactive tax planning and tax strategies like me. I'm not trying to plug myself. I'm just saying you have to go to somebody who offers that as a service to get that. Because once you generate income in your business, there are things you can do to help reduce your tax bill. Although big picture, like I said, if you make money, you're going to have to pay some taxes. All right. Moving on to step 4. Step 4 is set up a cash cushion. You've heard me talk about this many, many times. It is so important that you have a cash cushion in your business, like an emergency fund. We've all heard the advice about have 6 months of expenses saved up personally, right? So that if you lose your job or something like that, which is not applicable to you, if your business fails, you have money personally to give you the runway to figure out what to do next. The same thing applies for your business, except I generally say save up 2 to 3 months of business expenses in a separate business savings account, because I want you to have at least enough money to pay your payroll costs, to keep the lights on for a little bit if you have a month or two where your revenue is down. Okay, have that saved up. I generally don't go much beyond having 2 months saved. because there is always a balance of having too much cash sitting in the bank account in your business that you could instead deploy and generate more income. So there's always a balance, but I would say work toward saving up at least 2 months, probably up to 3. If you don't have enough money to set that aside right now, then what you do is say, what would be like in a minimum emergency fund? Like, how much money do I need to run one payroll or to make a debt payment, right? Like maybe it's $500 or $5,000, right? Figure out what is a minimum emergency fund that would give me more peace of mind and set that aside right now. Then after you set that aside every month, because you're cash flowing, take some money out of your profits and push it into your cash cushion account, and over time you will build it up. You also need, if you don't have a personal emergency fund, just work on setting one up too out of what you're paying yourself, because you will feel a lot more secure knowing if your business does fail, right? Not that I'm not saying it's going to fail. If your revenue dips, if something happens, you personally are also taken care of. Okay, so step 4, save up your emergency funds for your business and your personal life. Now, step 5 is pay off debt, business debt and personal debt. I firmly believe that your business can only grow to the extent that you personally can grow. You are going to be the ceiling on your business. If you are held back by your personal life not having good, like if you don't have your personal emergency fund, if you have a ton of debt personally, you are going to carry that into your business with your actions. Your mindset will be different. You will come from a place of scarcity, right? So we don't want that. So make sure that you are paying down all of your debt. Now, in terms of timing between saving up your cash cushion and paying down debt, I would say get your minimum emergency fund set up, even if it's not like the full 2 months of expenses in your business. At least get a minimum there, like $5,000. I'm just throwing a number out there. Then next, pay off high interest debt. So anything over about 7% interest, pay that off next. Then once you pay off anything with high interest, go back and save up your cash cushion while making minimum payments on the rest of your lower interest debt. I want you to pay off the high interest debt as quickly as possible because high interest is a major cash flow suck, okay? So order-wise, minimum emergency fund, then pay off high interest debt, then go back and save up the rest of your cash cushion, and then plow money into paying off your debt. Once you have done these things, you are going to feel so secure in your business, okay? You will have such a solid financial foundation that you are going to feel way more confident in taking risks. You're going to put yourself in a place where you're able to grow your business even better because you are not, as the CEO, also stressing about money. If you're stressing about money, it is going to be hard for you to really put your full mental capacity and you're going to be too stressed to be able to go full force on your goals, okay? The same habits that get you to this place of having a bulletproof business are the same habits that will build wealth. Because once you have generated cash flow, set aside money for taxes, set up your cash cushion, and paid off your debt, you now have cash flow that you can plow into things that build your wealth, whether that is retirement investing or buying real estate, buying other businesses, growing your own business, right? You will have so much more cash flow available and mental space to grow your business, all right? So to summarize, this is your Bulletproof business ladder, my wealth ladder from my program, okay? You're going to get cash flow positive in your business. You're going to pay yourself a salary so that you are cash flow positive in your life. You are going to set aside money for taxes. And when you're paying yourself probably at least $60K, $50 to $60K in your business, go work with a tax person to talk about tax strategies. You're going to save up a cash cushion for your business of 2 to 3 months of expenses, and also make sure you have a personal emergency fund. You're going to pay off debt. And then once you have all of these taken care of, you are going to invest that cash flow that your business is generating to build your wealth. If you want help, if you want support from me to do all of these things in your business, to work your way up the ladder, this is what I focus on in my 12-week Profit and Prosper program. The doors are going to open to the program very soon for the Q2 cohort. So if you want to be the first to know about the program when the doors open, go to trustyoungco.com/programs. I will put the link in the show notes. Go to the link, check out the program, and get on the wait list. You will be the first to know when doors open for the Q2 cohort. All right, so I will see you all next time. Thanks for listening to this week's episode. Now, I want you to go take some action. What's one thing you can do this week to create more profit in your business? Send me a DM on Instagram at YoungCoCFO and share your action item with me. If you have a question or topic you'd like me to dive into, or if you're feeling empowered about taking charge of your finances, let's continue the conversation. Go to profitandprosper.co to submit a question or topic for me to talk about on the show. And because we all profit and prosper better with friends, please leave me a review on Apple Podcasts, subscribe wherever you listen, and share the episode. Make sure you tag me at YoungCoCFO on Instagram so I can give you some love, and I'll see you in the next episode.